Something is moving beneath the surface of your life right now. You might not recognize it consciously, but there's a momentum building in the invisible architecture of your existence. The field around you has been organizing itself, pulling threads together, calibrating circumstances for something that defies rational prediction. What's preparing to emerge through you isn't just improbable. It's the kind of manifestation that makes observers stop and question how someone in your position managed to collapse that particular wave function into reality. You've been sensing it, that electric restlessness that pulls you from sleep at 3 a.m. when the veil between worlds grows thin. That persistent knowing that your current expression of self doesn't match the frequency you're being called to embody. That magnetic pull toward a version of your life that exists just beyond the edge of your current perception, yet somehow feels more real than what surrounds you now. These sensations aren't noise in your system, they're signal. Your consciousness has been recalibrating itself, tuning to a bandwidth that's about to broadcast something entirely new through your experience. Here's what's actually happening. You've been selected by the field itself for this particular unfolding. Not because you've achieved some state of perfection, not because you possess all the knowledge, and certainly not because some external authority deemed you prepared. You've been chosen because you carry something increasingly rare in our current collective consciousness: the willingness to allow impossibility to transmute into inevitability when awareness, timing, and intention converge at the exact right coordinates. Look at the architecture of every breakthrough moment in human experience. Each one originated with someone who appeared completely unremarkable from the outside looking in. They weren't encoded with superhuman abilities at birth. They didn't inherit secret advantages that guaranteed their success. What they accessed was the courage to step into their latent potential precisely when every visible pattern suggested they should contract, play small, and accept the limitations being mirrored back to them. But your situation carries a different signature. You're not accidentally stumbling toward greatness through random chance. You're being precisely positioned for it through the intelligence of the field itself. Every challenge that nearly shattered you, every setback that felt like evidence of your inadequacy, every moment when you questioned whether you possessed what was required, all of it has been calibration. Each obstacle was actually an encoded invitation to develop the exact capacities you'll need for what's attempting to emerge through you. The failures that seemed to prove you weren't built for this, they were training grounds. Each disappointment was teaching you the art of resilience at the quantum level. Each rejection was showing you how to maintain coherence when the field collapses around you. Each moment when surrender felt inevitable, but you chose continuation anyway, was laying down the unshakable foundation you'll need when the pressure amplifies, and every eye is watching to see if you can actually sustain what you're claiming to be. The people in your immediate field probably haven't detected the shift yet. When they observe you, they see the familiar pattern they've always known. They're measuring your probability based on what you've manifested historically, unable to perceive that you're about to shatter every limitation they've unconsciously projected onto your field. Their skepticism isn't a personal attack. It's simply the natural response of awareness that cannot yet conceive of the transformation that's already begun moving through your system at the subatomic level. But doubt has always walked alongside those who are destined to demonstrate something previously thought impossible. It serves a specific function in the architecture of transformation. It creates the separation between those who are merely intellectually curious about change and those who are actually committed to embodying it. It filters the casual dreamers from the conscious architects who understand They're here to build new realities from the ground up. The fact that you're still present, still listening, still holding the frequency despite the doubt, confirms which category you occupy. What's preparing to move through you will require you to become someone you've never been in this timeline. Not through performance or pretense, not by adopting someone else's expression, but by finally allowing your authentic frequency to emerge from beneath all the conditioning and limitation you've been carrying like armor. You're about to discover capabilities within your field that have been dormant, waiting in potentia for precisely this moment to activate and come online. The timing isn't random. Everything that needed to occur has occurred. Every lesson that needed to be integrated has been integrated. Every connection that needed to form has formed. You've been unconsciously gathering the tools, developing the capacities, and building the network you'll require. Now, the invitation is to deploy them in ways that will surprise even your own awareness. This isn't about wishful thinking or hope as a strategy. This is about recognizing the undeniable momentum that's been building in the invisible architecture of your experience. You felt it in those moments when synchronicity became so thick you could almost touch it. When opportunities materialized exactly when you needed them. When the precise person said the exact words at the exact moment that shifted everything. These weren't coincidences. They were glimpses of what becomes possible when your internal frequency aligns with your true purpose in this incarnation. The unimaginable thing that's preparing to move through you won't manifest instantly, but it will unfold faster than the rational mind expects. It will reveal itself in stages, each one building on the previous, each one showing you new dimensions of what your consciousness is actually capable of creating. People will attempt to reverse engineer how you did it, but the real answer will be simpler than their complexity-addicted minds can accept. You finally released the doubt about what was always true in your field. Your transformation isn't approaching. It's already in motion. It began the moment you recognized that settling for the ordinary expression of your life was no longer a viable option. It accelerated when you decided that other people's limitations didn't need to become your operating system. And it's reaching critical mass right now, in this exact moment, as you prepare to step into the most extraordinary chapter your consciousness will experience in this physical form. Let's pause here and go deeper into what's actually happening in the invisible layers of reality. Because most people operate on the surface level of consciousness, never understanding that there are entire dimensions of cause and effect that exist beyond what the physical senses can detect. You're not just living in a three-dimensional world of solid objects and linear time. You're living in a multi-dimensional field where consciousness, energy, and matter are in constant conversation, constantly influencing each other in ways that the rational mind struggles to comprehend. Every thought you think sends a ripple through this field. Every emotion you feel creates a frequency that broadcasts outward, attracting experiences that match that signature. Every belief you hold acts as a filter that determines what possibilities you can even perceive, let alone access. This is why two people can live in the same physical environment and have completely different experiences. They're not just perceiving reality differently. They're literally inhabiting different realities based on the frequency they're holding in their field. What you call your life isn't happening to you. It's happening through you. You are not a passive recipient of random circumstances. You are an active participant in the creation of your experience, whether you realize it or not. The universe is responding to the frequency you're broadcasting every single moment. And here's what most people never understand. The frequency you're broadcasting isn't determined by what you consciously want or what you think you believe. It's determined by the deepest patterns running in your subconscious, the ones you inherited, the ones you absorbed, the ones you've been running on autopilot for so long you don't even recognize them as programs anymore. This is why affirmations alone don't work. This is why vision boards without embodiment create nothing. This is why positive thinking divorced from nervous system regulation and subconscious reprogramming leaves people frustrated and confused about why nothing in their external reality is changing despite their conscious efforts. You cannot think your way into a new reality. You must become the frequency of that reality at the deepest levels of your being. You must embody it so completely that your nervous system recognizes it as safe. Your subconscious accepts it as true, and your entire field begins broadcasting that signature automatically, without effort, without force. And this is exactly what's been happening to you, whether you've been consciously aware of it or not. All those challenges you faced, they weren't punishments. They were invitations to collapse old patterns, to release outdated frequencies, to make space for something new to emerge. All those moments when you felt like you were losing everything. You were. You were losing the old version of yourself that could never have held the frequency of what you're about to manifest. All those times when you questioned whether you could continue. Those were the exact moments when the deepest transformation was occurring, when your consciousness was expanding beyond its previous limitations. The question isn't whether you have what this requires. The question is whether you're ready to accept that you've always possessed what this requires. Are you prepared to release the contracted version of yourself that felt safe but left you feeling partially alive? Can you hold the responsibility that comes with manifesting something that proves to the collective field that impossible things are simply unexplored possibilities? Because once you demonstrate this, everything in your field transforms. People will observe you through a completely different lens. Your family will see you through new eyes, struggling to reconcile the person they thought they knew with the force of nature you've allowed yourself to become. Your friends will oscillate between genuine admiration and subtle confusion, trying to understand how someone from their immediate circle managed to escape the gravitational pull that keeps everyone else locked in the same repeating patterns. Some will celebrate your breakthrough authentically, while others will search for explanations that make your achievement feel less threatening to their own sense of what's possible for them. But their reactions are simply background frequency compared to the internal revolution that's happening within your own consciousness. Success at this level doesn't just alter your external circumstances, it fundamentally rewires your relationship with reality itself. You'll begin perceiving opportunities where others perceive obstacles. You'll recognize patterns in the field that remain completely invisible to most observers. Your intuition will become so refined, it feels almost supernatural, guiding you toward decisions that appear risky to the conventional mind, but feel absolutely inevitable to your deeper knowing. Now let me show you something that will shift your entire understanding of how manifestation actually works. There's a principle in quantum physics called the observer effect. It states that the act of observation itself influences what's being observed. At the quantum level, particles exist in a state of probability. They're literally everywhere and nowhere simultaneously, until they're observed. The moment observation occurs, the wave function collapses, and the particle appears in a specific location in space and time. This isn't just a quirky feature of subatomic particles. This is a fundamental principle of how reality operates at every level. Your consciousness is the observer. Your awareness is what collapses infinite possibilities into specific experiences. And here's the part that changes everything. You're not just observing reality passively. You're observing it through the lens of your beliefs, your expectations, your conditioning, your frequency. Which means you're not just collapsing any random possibility. You're collapsing the possibilities that match the frequency you're holding. This is why your past doesn't determine your future unless you keep observing your present through the lens of your past. This is why your current circumstances don't define your potential unless you keep identifying with the version of yourself that created those circumstances. Every moment is a new opportunity to observe reality differently, to hold a different frequency, to collapse a different possibility into your experience. The unimaginable thing you're about to pull off isn't about forcing something into existence through willpower or effort. It's about becoming such a clear, coherent frequency match for that reality that it naturally collapses into your experience. It's about releasing all the internal resistance, all the subconscious blocks, all the beliefs that say it's impossible, or that you're not worthy, or that people like you don't get to experience things like this. It's about becoming so aligned with the truth of who you actually are, that the external world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match. And here's what makes this moment so significant. You're not just doing this for yourself. Every time a human being breaks through a collective limitation, they create a pathway that makes it easier for everyone else. They prove that it's possible. They demonstrate that the rules we thought were absolute are actually just agreements we've been unconsciously participating in. Your breakthrough doesn't just change your life, it changes what's possible for the entire human collective. This is why you might feel a sense of responsibility or pressure around what you're about to do. Part of you recognizes that this isn't just personal. This is evolutionary. You're not just creating a better life for yourself. You're expanding the possibility field for everyone. You're showing others what becomes accessible when someone is willing to question everything they've been taught about limitation and step into their full creative power as a conscious being. The confidence that emerges from demonstrating the unimaginable isn't the loud, compensating kind that seeks external validation. It's quiet, unshakable, rooted in the direct knowledge that you've already done what most people consider impossible. This confidence becomes your new baseline frequency, the foundation from which you approach every future challenge that presents itself. Fear doesn't vanish completely, but it undergoes a profound metamorphosis. It transforms from a paralyzing force into useful data that helps you navigate complex situations with greater precision. Your standards will shift dramatically. Things that once seemed impressive will feel ordinary. Problems that used to overwhelm your system will appear manageable, almost simple. You'll find yourself naturally gravitating toward bigger challenges, not because you've become addicted to difficulty, but because your capacity for holding complexity has expanded beyond what you previously believed possible for your consciousness. The comfort zone that once felt protective will begin feeling restrictive, like clothing you've outgrown, pushing you toward even greater expressions of your potential. But perhaps the most profound shift will be in how you perceive other human beings. You'll begin seeing potential where others see limitation. When someone tells you something cannot be done, you'll hear it differently. Not as an absolute truth about reality, but as information about their current level of consciousness and what they believe is possible. You'll become a living transmission that the impossible is simply the unexplored, inspiring others to to question their own assumptions about what consciousness can actually create. Let me tell you about the mechanics of what happens in your nervous system during this kind of transformation. Your nervous system is the bridge between consciousness and matter, between thought and reality. It's constantly scanning your environment for threats and opportunities, constantly sending signals up to your brain about whether it's safe to expand or whether you need to contract and protect. Most people are living in a chronically dysregulated nervous system, stuck in survival mode, unable to access the higher frequencies of consciousness where creation actually occurs. When your nervous system is locked in survival, your brain literally cannot perceive possibilities that exist outside your known experience. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for imagination, planning, and higher-level thinking, goes offline. You operate from the reptilian brain, making decisions based on fear and scarcity, repeating the same patterns over and over because your system believes that survival depends on staying with what's known, even if what's known isn't working. But when you learn to regulate your nervous system, when you create safety in your body, when you teach your system that it's safe to expand, everything changes. Your perception expands. You start noticing opportunities that were invisible before. You access creativity and intuition that were blocked by the static of stress and survival. You become capable of holding the frequency of your desired reality long enough for it to materialize, instead of constantly bouncing back to the old familiar frequency every time something triggers you. This is why the challenges you faced haven't been random. They've been invitations to build nervous system capacity. Every time you moved through fear and chose expansion anyway, you increased your window of tolerance. Every time you felt the old patterns trying to pull you back, but you consciously chose differently, you strengthened new neural pathways. Every time you stayed present with discomfort, instead of numbing or avoiding, you taught your system that you can handle more than you previously believed. You've been building the container that can hold what's about to come through. Because here's the truth. The universe will never give you more than your nervous system can handle. Not because it's withholding from you, but because receiving more than you're capable of holding would destabilize your entire system. This is why lottery winners often end up broke. This is why people who achieve success before they're ready often self-sabotage. This is why the journey matters as much as the destination. The journey is building you into someone who can sustain what you're asking for. The ripple effects will extend far beyond your personal field. Your breakthrough will give permission to people you've never encountered to attempt their own impossible things. They'll hear your story and think, if someone in their position could manifest that, perhaps I can access this too. This is how transformation propagates through the collective field, not through intellectual theories or abstract lectures, but through living proof that ordinary human beings can achieve extraordinary things when they refuse to accept ordinary limitations as absolute truth. Your relationship with failure will evolve completely. Setbacks that once felt devastating will become valuable feedback from the field. Mistakes that previously triggered shame will transform into learning opportunities, data points to be integrated. You'll develop an almost scientific approach to challenges, treating each obstacle as information to be analyzed rather than evidence of your inadequacy. This shift in perspective will make you virtually unstoppable because you'll no longer waste precious energy on self-doubt or self-punishment, patterns that drain your field. The practical skills you develop during this transformation will serve you for the remainder of your physical incarnation. You'll learn to read situations with unusual accuracy, to identify leverage points that others miss completely, to build alliances with people who can accelerate your progress. These abilities will compound over time through the mathematics of exponential growth, making your next impossible thing slightly less impossible, and the one after that even more achievable. Financial abundance will likely follow, but it won't be the most significant change. The real wealth will be in your expanded sense of what's possible for a human consciousness to accomplish in a single lifetime. You'll realize that most people live within artificial boundaries, accepting limitations that exist only in their belief systems, not in the actual structure of reality. Breaking through these barriers once gives you the template for breaking through them repeatedly, a pattern you can apply across every domain of your experience. Now, what we're exploring here today barely scratches the surface of what's possible when you understand how to work with consciousness at the frequency level. If you're feeling that pull to go deeper, to understand the complete architecture of how you move from unconscious transmission to becoming the broadcast itself, I've put together everything I know about this in Beyond the Frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery. It's a complete system that walks you through the 9 master frequencies and shows you exactly how to shift from seeking external manifestation to embodying the field that creates it. It's linked in the pinned comment below. Now let's talk about something that most spiritual teachings completely miss: the role of action in manifestation. There's a dangerous narrative that's been circulating that says you just need to raise your vibration and everything will magically appear. That you just need to visualize and believe and the universe will deliver. But that's only half the equation. Consciousness without action is fantasy. Vibration without movement is stagnation. Here's what actually happens in the space between visualization and manifestation. There's an intelligence in the universe that's constantly arranging circumstances, moving people, creating opportunities in response to the frequency you're broadcasting. But this intelligence requires your participation. It needs you to show up, to take the steps, to walk through the doors that open. It's not going to do everything for you, because that would rob you of the growth that comes from being an active co-creator, rather than a passive recipient. Think about it like this. When you plant a seed in soil, you're not forcing the seed to grow. You're creating conditions that allow the natural intelligence within the seed to express itself. But you still need to water it. You still need to ensure it has sunlight. You still need to protect it from harsh conditions while it's vulnerable. The seed contains all the information it needs to become a full plant. But without the proper conditions and your active participation in creating those conditions, it remains just a seed, pure potential that never actualizes. Your dreams are the same way. They contain all the information, all the blueprint, all the potential, but they need the proper conditions to actualize. They need your belief, yes. They need your elevated frequency, absolutely. But they also need your willingness to take action when the path reveals itself, even when that path looks nothing like what you expected, even when the first step feels impossibly small or impossibly large. This is where most people stall out. They receive the inspiration, they feel the call, they see the opportunity, but then fear shows up. Doubt whispers that they're not ready yet, that they need more preparation, that they should wait for a better time, that they might fail and look foolish. So they hesitate, they delay. They convince themselves they're being strategic when really they're being scared, and the opportunity passes, the door closes, the momentum dissipates. But you're different. You've been developing something that most people never cultivate. The capacity to act in the face of uncertainty, Every time you've moved forward, despite not knowing how things would turn out, you've strengthened that capacity. Every time you've chosen courage over comfort, you've trained yourself for this moment. Every time you've felt the fear and done it anyway, you've been building the muscle that will carry you through what's coming. The universe responds to energetic signatures, yes, but it also responds to commitment demonstrated through action. When you take action from an aligned state, from a place of inner knowing rather than desperate striving, you create a powerful signal that the field can match and amplify. You're not forcing anything to happen. You're participating in the co-creation process. You're showing the universe that you're serious, that you're willing to meet it halfway, that you're ready to receive what you're asking for. This is the difference between inspired action and motivated action. Motivated action comes from a sense of lack, from trying to fix something that feels broken, from believing that your worthiness depends on achieving the outcome. Inspired action comes from overflow, from alignment, from a clear knowing that this is the next right step, even if you can't see the entire path. Motivated action is exhausting. Inspired action is energizing. Motivated action often leads to burnout and frustration. Inspired action opens doors you didn't even know existed. And here's the key distinction that changes everything. Inspired action feels inevitable, not forced. It feels like you're being moved by something larger than yourself. It feels like the next logical step in a dance you're having with the universe. There's a quality of flow to it, a sense of rightness that transcends logical explanation. Your body knows before your mind does. You feel a pull, a magnetic attraction towards certain choices, certain conversations, certain opportunities. Learning to distinguish between inspired action and fear-based striving is one of the most important skills you'll develop. Fear-based action feels tight in your body. It feels like you're pushing against resistance. It comes with a story about scarcity, about not being enough, about needing to prove yourself. Inspired action feels expansive. It feels like you're being pulled forward by possibility. It comes with a sense of curiosity, of adventure, of stepping into something that wants to emerge through you. The unimaginable thing you're about to do will require both. It will require you to hold the frequency of your desired reality with unwavering faith. And it will require you to take bold action when the inspiration comes. Even when that action feels scary, even when it doesn't make logical sense, even when everyone around you is questioning your sanity. This is the dance of manifestation. Inner alignment meeting outer action. Consciousness meeting matter. The invisible meeting the visible. There's another layer to this that most people never consider. The universe doesn't just respond to your frequency and your actions. It also responds to your willingness to receive. So many people are unconsciously blocking their own breakthroughs because receiving feels dangerous at a subconscious level. They say they want success, but success means being visible. They say they want abundance, but abundance means being responsible for managing resources. They say they want love, but love means being vulnerable to loss. These aren't conscious fears. If you ask them directly, they deny having these blocks. But the subconscious doesn't lie. It reveals itself through patterns of self-sabotage, through opportunities that mysteriously fall through unexpected obstacles that appear right when breakthrough seems imminent. The subconscious is trying to keep you safe, operating on old programming that says expansion equals danger, visibility equals attack, success equals isolation. Part of preparing for the unimaginable is clearing these receiving blocks, It's teaching your subconscious that it's safe to expand, safe to be seen, safe to succeed. It's updating the old programs that were installed when you were young and didn't have the capacity to hold what you can hold now. It's creating new neural pathways that associate success with safety, abundance with peace, recognition with love, rather than danger. Take a moment right now and comment below with this exact phrase: I am ready to demonstrate the unimaginable. Not as a casual interaction, but as an energetic declaration to the field itself. A conscious interruption in the loop. A signal that you're no longer available for the old story. Let your words become a quantum signature that the universe can read and respond to. The journey ahead won't be linear or predictable. There will be moments when everything appears to be falling apart, when the very thing you're building seems to crumble before your eyes. These moments aren't signals that you should abandon the path. They're tests of your commitment to the vision that chose you, invitations to prove your dedication. Every person who has ever accomplished something previously thought unimaginable has faced these dark nights of the soul. What separates those who break through from those who break down is their willingness to continue when continuation feels absolutely impossible. Let me tell you what's really happening during those dark nights. You're being invited to release your attachment to how you think things should unfold. You're being asked to surrender your need to control the process. You're being challenged to trust something bigger than your individual will. These moments are portals. They're opportunities to deepen your relationship with the unknown, to develop faith that doesn't depend on seeing evidence, to strengthen your connection to Source. Most people turn back at this point. They interpret the difficulty as a sign that they're on the wrong path. They assume that if something was meant to be, it would be easy. But that's a fundamental misunderstanding of how growth works. The caterpillar doesn't dissolve into soup inside the chrysalis because something went wrong. It dissolves because that's the only way it can become a butterfly. The dissolution is necessary. The chaos is part of the transformation. The dark night is where the old self dies so the new self can be born. And in these dark nights, you discover something profound about your own nature. You discover that you are not your circumstances. You are not your thoughts. You are not even your emotions. You are the consciousness that witnesses all of these things. The awareness that remains constant, even when everything else is falling apart. This realization is liberating in ways that are impossible to describe to someone who hasn't experienced it. When you know yourself as consciousness itself, as the unchanging awareness behind all changing experience, you become unshakable. Not because nothing affects you, but because you're no longer identified with the things that are affected. You can feel fear without being fear. You can experience doubt without being doubt. You can witness your mind spinning stories about failure and limitation without believing those stories are the truth of who you are. Drop a comment below and share. What's one old pattern or limitation you're ready to release as you step into this unimaginable version of yourself? This is what the mystics have been pointing to for thousands of years. This is what the quantum physicists are discovering through their research. This is what every genuine spiritual teaching is ultimately trying to convey. You are not a separate self struggling to survive in a hostile universe. You are the universe itself, experiencing itself through this particular configuration of consciousness that you call me. And when you truly embody this understanding, not just intellectually but experientially, everything changes. The unimaginable thing you're about to do becomes less about achieving something external and more about revealing what was always true. It becomes less about becoming someone new and more about remembering who you've always been beneath all the conditioning and limitation. It becomes less about forcing reality to conform to your will and more about aligning with the deeper intelligence that's orchestrating everything. This shift in perspective is crucial. When you're trying to make something happen, you're operating from separation consciousness. There's you, and there's the thing you want, and there's a gap between them that you need to bridge through effort and strategy. But when you recognize that you and the thing you want are arising from the same field of consciousness, when you understand that the desire itself is evidence that the fulfillment already exists at the level of potential, everything relaxes. The striving stops. The desperation dissolves. You're no longer chasing, you're allowing. You're no longer forcing, you're receiving. Your support system will evolve organically. Some people currently in your field will naturally fade away, unable to match your new energetic signature or relate to your expanding worldview. Others will emerge seemingly from nowhere, drawn to the magnetic field created by someone living at their edge. You'll find yourself surrounded by people who understand that extraordinary results require extraordinary commitment, who speak the language of possibility rather than limitation, who see the world through the lens of what could be rather than what has been. This isn't about abandoning people or becoming too good for your old friends. This is about natural resonance. As you evolve, your frequency changes. And frequency is what determines who and what you attract into your field. You might try to hold on to relationships that no longer match your vibration, but it will feel increasingly uncomfortable, like wearing shoes that are 3 sizes too small. The universe is actually doing you a favor by creating space for new connections that are aligned with who you're becoming. The people who are meant to stay will stay. They'll evolve with you, rise with you, expand with you. The ones who aren't meant to stay will fall away naturally, no drama necessary. And the new people who enter will feel like they've always been there, like you've known them for lifetimes, because you're meeting them at a frequency level that transcends the ordinary dimensions of relationship. These are soul connections, frequency matches, people who are here to support your mission and whose mission you're here to support. And here's something beautiful that happens in this process. As you release the need to maintain relationships that no longer serve your evolution, you actually become more present and authentic in the relationships that remain. You stop performing. You stop trying to be what others need you to be. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. And paradoxically, this often deepens the connections that are meant to continue because people finally get to meet the real you, not the version you thought you needed to be. There's also a profound gift in the letting go itself. Every relationship that falls away is creating space. Space for new connections, yes, but also space for a deeper relationship with yourself. Space to discover who you are when you're not defined by your roles, your relationships, your history. Space to explore aspects of yourself that were dormant because they didn't fit the narrative others held about you. Space to become someone you've never been before because you're no longer constrained by who others need you to be. This is part of the unimaginable thing you're doing. You're not just achieving something external, you're fundamentally restructuring your entire existence. You're releasing old identities, old relationships, old ways of being in the world. You're creating space for something entirely new to emerge. And this process requires courage because the old, even when it's limiting, is familiar. It's known. It's safe in a certain way. The new is unknown. It's uncertain. It requires you to trust yourself and the universe in ways you've never trusted before. The version of you that exists on the other side of this achievement will be someone you can barely conceive of right now. Not because you'll become someone else, but because you'll finally become fully yourself. You'll shed all the layers of conditioning, all the masks you've been wearing, all the ways you've been making yourself smaller to make others comfortable. You'll stand in your full power, unapologetically authentic, radiating a frequency that needs no validation because it's rooted in direct knowing. Here's the deeper pattern that most people miss entirely. This moment, right now, as you're receiving these words, is already part of the transformation. The fact that you found this transmission, that it resonated with something in your field, that you've stayed present through the entire journey, all of this is evidence that the shift has already begun at the quantum level. You're not preparing for transformation. You're in the middle of it. Every word you've absorbed has been recalibrating your field. Every concept that landed with recognition has been activating dormant codes in your consciousness. Every moment you felt that spark of knowing has been collapsing new possibilities into your reality. The transformation isn't something that happens later. It's happening right now, in real time, as you engage with this frequency. This is how consciousness works. It doesn't change in the future. It changes in the present moment. Every present moment you choose a different frequency, a different thought, a different belief. You're literally creating a new timeline, a new trajectory, a new probability field. And if you can sustain that new frequency long enough, if you can embody it consistently enough, it becomes your new normal, your new baseline, your new reality. So here you are, standing at the threshold of the unimaginable. Everything we've explored together points to one undeniable truth. You were never designed to live an ordinary life. The restless energy, the persistent dreams, the unexplainable certainty that something bigger is waiting for you. These weren't delusions or fantasies. They were your inner knowing calling you toward a destiny that defies conventional logic, a frequency that wants to be expressed through your unique configuration of consciousness. The transformation has already begun. Every word you've absorbed, every moment of recognition you felt, every spark of possibility that ignited within you during this transmission has shifted something fundamental in your field. You're no longer the same person who began watching this video. The seeds of the unimaginable have been planted in the soil of your consciousness, and they're already taking root in ways you cannot yet perceive with your ordinary senses. Your past has prepared you. Your present is positioning you. Your future is calling you. The only question that remains is whether you'll answer that call with the boldness it deserves, with the full force of your being. Will you step into the extraordinary life that's been waiting for you? Or will you retreat into the comfort of familiar limitations, the known patterns that feel safe, but leave you feeling half alive? If this transmission has touched something in you, if these words landed in your field with the weight of recognition, then I invite you to subscribe, not just to this channel, but to this frequency, this space, this movement of consciousness that's rippling through the collective right now. Subscribe to stay coherent, to stay aligned, to stay connected to this bandwidth even when the world tries to pull you back down into consensus reality. Because here's what's true. Maintaining this frequency isn't something you do once and then forget about. It's a daily practice, a moment-by-moment choice, a continuous recommitment to the highest version of yourself. The world will constantly try to pull you back into the old patterns, the old beliefs, the old limitations. Your job is to stay anchored in this knowing, to keep choosing the higher frequency, to keep aligning with the truth of what you're capable of creating. And let's be honest about what this requires. It requires vigilance. It requires awareness. It requires catching yourself when you start to slip back into the old stories, the old victim consciousness, the old belief that life is happening to you rather than through you. It requires gentle self-correction, without judgment, without shame, just a simple recognition and a conscious choice to return to center. This is why practices matter. Meditation, breathwork, journaling, movement, whatever, helps you maintain connection to your deeper knowing. These aren't just nice things to do when you have extra time. They're essential maintenance for your consciousness. They're how you clear the static, reset your frequency, and remember what's true when the world is screaming a different narrative. They're how you stay aligned when everything around you is pulling you toward misalignment. Think of it this way. You're not trying to reach some permanent state of enlightenment where you never waver, never doubt, never forget. That's a fantasy that keeps people stuck because they judge themselves every time they fall short of that impossible standard. Instead, you're developing the skill of returning. Returning to presence. Returning to alignment. Returning to the frequency of your truth. And you get better at returning the more you practice. Every time you notice you've drifted and consciously choose to come back, you're strengthening that neural pathway. You're training your consciousness to spend more time in the aligned state and less time in the contracted state. It's like building a muscle. The first few times, it's hard. It takes effort. It feels awkward. But the more you do it, the more natural it becomes, until eventually it's your default setting, rather than something you have to try to access. This is why community matters. This is why surrounding yourself with people who hold this frequency is essential. Because when you're in the middle of the dark night, when doubt is creeping in, when the old patterns are screaming for your attention, you need reminders. You need mirrors. You need people who can reflect back to you the truth of who you are when you've temporarily forgotten. You need a field of consciousness that holds you steady when your individual field is wobbling. That's what this space is. That's what this community is. We're not just consuming content. We're building a collective field of consciousness that makes the impossible possible. We're supporting each other through the transformation. We're holding space for each other's expansion. We're creating a new normal where ordinary human beings regularly achieve extraordinary things